Hi guys, so here is your video. I am looking at lesson 19, and yes, I do mean 19. Of course, today, well, I'm recording this Tuesday after school, but we did not finish lesson 19, and you can see this is the question right here that we had finished. And so I wanted to continue on with this lesson for today, okay? So let's go on to the next page, and actually E here, we had already answered that up here. We just did all the work on one page. All right, so we're going to start right here with this lesson, or this problem here. So we have a coordinate plane below, and it contains figure R, which is a rectangle with the same base as the parallelogram above. So they're talking about the same base of this problem that we did up here. That AD, that line AD is the base, okay? So I'm going to go back down here. So the base, the length of it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I count the length of that red line there, that is 5 units, okay? So here at F, what we're going to do, let's read what it says here. Draw triangles S and T and connect to figure R so that you create a rectangle that is the same size as the rectangle you created on the first coordinate plane. So remember up here, I'm going to go back up here again. We had created the S triangle and the T triangle. So we're actually going to smush those two together, and we're going to put those right next to that other figure. So let's first think about S here. So the base of it is 3. And then the height of that, let's see what the height is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 6. And so T is actually the same. And if we put S and T right together, that actually makes a rectangle, right guys? So let's go back. Remember that base is 3 and the height is 6. And we're actually going to put it to the right side of the R here, okay? All right. Sorry, I just took the keyboard off of my computer here. Okay, so the base of S is 3 units long. And the height was 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the length of this here. So it's the same, right? And here is the triangle, the best I could do that line there, and that is triangle S. So if I put T down below here, we end up really just adding on a rectangle right to the next of that R, okay? So let's go ahead now and start working on the problem here. It says find the area of rectangle R. So to find area of a rectangle, we always start with A equals base times height. Or if you want to, actually, that should be for our rectangle. We'll do length times width. That's better, actually. So our length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our width is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the area for R, is 30 units squared. And so let me label this because I have it actually up here. That is area of R, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the next one here. What do figures R and P have in common? So, R and P, we didn't have P on here, so what are they talking about? Oh, we're talking about the other. So R and P, that's this one. Sorry, guys. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? So let's talk about find the area of P. Let's look at that. So the area of P is 30 units squared. And then the area of R, what is the area of R? Oh, it is also 30 units square. So what do they have in common? They have the same area. So basically, in order to find area of a parallelogram, just like the from the first page of this lesson, we do area equals base times height. So we could have, instead of done all of this work up here, but you guys needed to know how to do that too, we could have actually just found the base of P, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the height, and we could take that height right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we could have multiplied that to get our answer. So anyway, that was Eureka's way of actually showing us how to find the area of a parallelogram. Okay, so let's go ahead to this next page where we have the exercises here. And what I want you to do is I want you to do exercise 1 right now, and I want you to take control of your education, and I want you to pause the video, do the work. I know you don't want to, but you are going to do the work. And then when you have it done, play, and then you can check your work. All right, so hopefully you have paused after you had done the work. So this is a triangle. So to find the area of a triangle, we do A equals base times height. And the base is this length right here. And that is 7 units. And the height is going up that way. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So our area is 7 times 4, which is 28. We don't know what the units is here. They did not give that. So we must specify though. Sorry guys. That is 28 units squared for our area. Okay. Okay. So let's go to number 2. So we have this quadrilateral called ABCD, and they want us to be able to show how we can find the area 2 different ways. I'm not too concerned about finding 2 different ways. If you want to challenge yourself, you can. So, you know, that's kind of your decision on that. Let's go ahead and I'll show you one way that we can do this. So we have this parallelogram, and one thing that we can do is we can actually section it into 3 different shapes. And you can see my red lines. I ended up making in the middle a rectangle, and on each side I have a triangle. Now both of those triangles are not the same size. So what I'm going to do, just so I can distinguish between all the different sections here, I'm going to call this triangle here on the side, I'm going to call it triangle X, and then I'm going to call this one over here triangle Y, okay? And then the rectangle in there, we can just call it the rectangle, okay? So what we want to do is we want to find the area of all of that. So what should we do? Well, we'll find the area of all 3 of those shapes. So we can do area, let's do area of X, the X triangle. So that is a triangle. So that is area equals base, and it's a triangle. And you know what, guys? What did Mrs. Tessendorf do over here that is wrong? Oh my gosh, that is so wrong, and I'm sorry, guys. You're probably like, what? Area equals 1/2 base times height. Sorry, guys. You might actually see on my screen. What time is it? It says 5:50, and yes, that is the time I'm here at school doing this, and I've been here since 7 o'clock in the morning. So I am tired, still not feeling quite well. Anyway, I do apologize. Oh my gosh, that is so bad, Mrs. Tessendorf. Okay, so area equals 1/2. Our base is 7, and our height is 4. Area equals 1/2. 7 times 4 is 28. So, what is half of 28? And that is 14 units squared. That would have been if it was a rectangle, that rectangle. So we just need to split it in half. Sorry, guys, you're probably already like on me about this one. So area of rectangle. Let's go back to this one after I messed up question 1. Okay, so area of X. So it is a triangle, and look, I got it right. There we go. Okay, area. Let's plug in information. The base is 2 units, and the height, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 units. So, go ahead and do your work. Okay, area is half of 10, which is 5 units squared. So that's just of X. Let's do the area of the rectangle. I'll abbreviate it. Area of a rectangle, A equals base times, well, let's call it length times width, as we should. Area equals length. So the straight up and down, that is 5 units. And our width, is that right there, that is 2 units. So area equals 10 units squared. So we just have one more area of, that's Y, area of Y, triangle. So I'm going to remember 1/2 base times height. Okay, let's plug in our information here. The base, this one here is only 1 unit. And then the height, we already know that height, that is 5. So let's go ahead and do our work here. Okay, area is half of 5, which is 2. We could go 2.5 or 2.5. We'll use a decimal. 2.5 units squared. So now we want the whole thing. So yes, we must add this all up. So we have 5 plus 10 plus 2.5, and that is equaling to 17.5 units squared. Okay, so there you go. Let's see. I think that's where I'm going to stop for this lesson. So let's go over to the problem set, and I'll tell you what you're going to do for your homework. So let's move over. So last night you had done numbers 1, 3, and 5. Okay. And I want you to do number 2. And one of the things, hopefully you can see it, I don't know if you can in your book, you're actually finding the area of that semicircle. Okay. So it doesn't really show it too well in the book, so you should see it better there. I want you to do number 4. Here is the shape. We have a semicircle with this shape here. Okay, so we want the area of that whole shape there. And this one here, I do want you to do number 6. Okay. So this one is a tricky one, kind of more of a challenge one. So, you're going to have to do some adding on to it. This is something I would suggest. I'll give you that as one hint, and then you can go from there. There may be other ways. So if you want to do it another way, you can, okay? So there are many different ways that actually you could find the area of that shape. So, let's see. Once you go ahead, let's go. I'm not going to have you do anything on this page. I'm going to have you go to here, and I do want you to find number 12. And number 13. And I think that's fine. 13 should be very, very simple for you. Okay? So that is about it. And hopefully you liked my video. And please don't be so mad at me when I made that mistake. Teachers make mistakes. You know it. Okay? All right. Have a good day. Work hard today, guys. Bye-bye.